It looks like Ellie won't be alone in The Last of Us Part 2, since in a recent interview by BuzzFeed with Naughty Dog's Vice President Neil Druckman, he pretty much stated so with a quote along the lines of, "Ellie used to be an NPC, but in this game's story she is now the main protagonist, so we as the player will be in control of her this time," which is quite the promotion if you ask me. But going back to Neil's statement, he further said there will be an NPC with us in this story too. So what this basically means is, just like we had Ellie helping Joel in the first game, there will now be someone helping Ellie along the way within the sequel, and I believe it's safe to assume that it won't be Joel, since Naughty Dog did state that he will be taking a back seat in this story. And if you think about it, if Joel is there with Ellie every step of the way, why would we be playing as Ellie and not Joel, since he is the stronger and more experienced character out of the two? I mean, it would be out of character for Joel to be following around Ellie throughout the whole of this game without taking the lead, since he is her father figure too. And for Ellie to grow in this story, she needs to take what she has learned from Joel over the years and put it into practice herself, along her personal journey within this story. And for her to successfully do that, she needs to be the lead character and also needs to be better than whomever the NPC is following her around throughout this game. Saying this, I truly do believe there will be a segment within The Last of Us 2 where Ellie and Joel will team up again, but it won't be something that is consistent throughout the entire game. With that said, it leaves the question of who is going to be Ellie's main NPC companion within The Last of Us 2. So, here are the candidates so far. Dena, if she actually manages not to die and isn't actually the catalyst for Ellie's revenge story within the game. It's plausible in this scenario where Dena survives that she could potentially become Ellie's companion, but I highly doubt that myself because I think she is going to die. Next up is Yara or Lev, the brother and sister we saw in Sony's Paris Game Week's trailer for The Last of Us Part 2, in which we supposedly saw Ellie's mother Anna being hanged by this religious cult, but they were unsuccessful in their attempt since Yara and Lev came to her aid. Now with The Last of Us 2 actually does have time jumping segments, and this woman actually is Ellie's mother, it's highly possible that Ellie will meet Yara or Lev in the present day, and that one of them could potentially be her NPC companion, which would be a good fit to how we learn more about Ellie's mother, since Yara or Lev would tell Ellie stories about her during certain parts of the game, which would then take us into these time jump segments where we play as Anna, which I personally think would be a cool way for Naughty Dog to do this if there are indeed time jump segments to Ellie's mother. Last but by no means the least is a non-human companion, which is a wolf. Now Naughty Dog have dropped a couple of hints of wolves in The Last of Us 2, with the first coming from this art piece where we see what looks to be the woman from the Paris Games Week's trailer's arm holding a hammer. But if you take a closer look, you notice the flames and trees actually come together to make the face of a wolf. Jumping ahead to the gameplay demo from E3 2018, we actually hear enemies calling Ellie a wolf too. Now this can't be due to her being a lone wolf, since we know she isn't going to be alone and will actually have someone with her along her journey. So it leads me to believe that they refer to her as a wolf since she is actually in command of a wolf, which is what I believe the original art piece was hinting at too. Earlier this year, Neil Druckman also tweeted a photo of him with a dog in mocap. Now dogs and wolves are pretty much cut from the same cloth, so it would make sense if you wanted to capture animation of a wolf you would get a friendly dog to do so, since it isn't so easy to domesticate a wolf, let alone mocap with one. This is why I believe there is a high possibility that the NPC companion in The Last of Us Part 2 could indeed be a wolf, and if not a wolf, a dog. I mean, my original thought was that it could be a dog, but with these two wolf references we have gotten from Naughty Dog, it made me upgrade my speculation from a dog to a wolf. It could be that Ellie saved this wolf while it was still a pup, and as it grew they formed a bond just like you would have with a dog. Even though it is much harder, it is still entirely possible, and the wolf would actually be a lot more lethal than a dog in combat as well, since they are instinctively stealthy when they're hunting prey. Generally speaking, most people love dogs, so if we were to build a bond with one throughout the game, or a wolf, only to have it die later on within the game, it would be such an emotional hit for the player, and would be a powerful story moment. And who knows, this could be The Last of Us 2 John Wick edition. As we see in that movie, he gets revenge for the death of his dog. For me personally, I feel that Ellie may have different NPC companions joining her on her journey throughout the game as the story progresses, as one NPC character may switch out for another during certain points of the story, but we spend enough time with each one to actually build a connection with them, and to actually care about them as well. Something similar to when we bumped into Henry and Sam and they joined Ellie and Joel on their journey, but this time these human NPCs we bump into will be even more useful than the ones from the first game, in the sense that they will be taken to the next level when it's concerning the story as well as gameplay. So even though I like my Yara and Lev idea, I'm leaning towards the dog or wolf being Ellie's main NPC companion in The Last of Us 2, who is going to be the Ellie to our Joel, even though the Joel is now our Ellie. So in a sense the wolf will be the Ellie to our Ellie, if that actually makes any sense, because I'm pretty sure I'm confusing myself right now as well. But other than that, I'm played by Vix. I hope you enjoyed the video. Press the notification bell for future content. Thank you for watching, take care, and I shall catch you guys in the next one.